forward into discovering our health and beauty from the inside out, I feel it very important that we establish a foundation that will help to support what we even believe to be health and beauty. So let's start by asking ourselves this simple yet honest question. Who are we? In order to be able to reach total health and beauty, we will need to have some idea as to who we are in order to care for what we are. Inasmuch as history, philosophy, and science has to tell us, there is a basic understanding that we are made up of three elements: mind, body, and spirit. Now, what do they mean? Number one, our mind, a complex of elements in an individual that perceives, thinks, wills, reasons, and understands, like a process center to our emotions, what we think about, dwell on, wish, and hope for. I can illustrate that our mind, in all of its complexity, has a core to it. That core, many call the soul. I guess we can say that it houses the heart of who you are, your character, and that on which it's built and developed to reveal who you are. Number two, our body, the physical aspects of what you are, not determining who you are. This is one of the most confused areas of a woman's life, not allowing the external to dictate to the internal. We need to clarify and put these two categories into their proper place. Number three, our spirit, a supernatural being or a person's total self. The vehicle in which you retain information that challenges, equips, and eventually molds you into who you reveal yourself to believe you are. It's essential that we get these three areas of who we are to work with one another in harmony. Now, this is easier said than done. I know this well. I myself was once at one time not in complete harmony with myself. I had my own internal issues to face. My mind and spirit seemed to be at war within my body. It wasn't until I finally gave into the spirit of who I really am did I start having success in living. As we look at you, a woman composed of mind, body, and spirit, we will see how our overall health is affected by these three areas of who we are. Two, how we are highly affected by what we subject the health of who we are to. Let me explain. If who we really are is our spirit, working within our mind, held within our body, shouldn't we spend time focusing on all three of these elements? Looking at them, questioning them, and coming to our own personal resolve or conclusion about how much influence they truly have over our overall health and well-being. Let me give you one example of how these three may work for us or against us. Have you ever had a situation happen to you like receiving a bill that you weren't expecting or getting a flat tire? Immediately you're thrown into a bad mood. You start to dwell on the circumstance when suddenly this idea pops into your head to go and bake some cookies. That will fix you right up, huh? The second thought that runs through your head is, don't do that. It's of no benefit to you. You argue with the second thought as you head to the kitchen to get those cookies started pronto. This is what is happening to us every day of our lives. We have an inner voice making suggestions rationalized by our mind, and our body has no choice but to follow along as instructed. Now, the contrary is equally powerful and effective. You wake up one morning and you're in this great mood. You have this attitude of thanksgiving and you're so happy just to be alive. You jump out of bed to start your day and head out the door. Maybe you take the kids to school or head off to work. You find yourself humming a melody of some sort in your head. You start making plans about doing your workout and what you're going to prepare for this evening's meal. There is no stopping you, because you have a plan. By the end of the day, you've accomplished most of the tasks that you had set out to do. You breathed through your exercise activity, ate very healthful foods, and had great interaction with your coworkers, friends, and family. As you lay in bed, you say to yourself, if only every day could be like this one. And the last thought of the day is, wow, what a great day, as you fall into a very peaceful and restful sleep. Our physical health is affected by our emotional and spiritual health, as is our spiritual and mental health affected by our physical health. What our tendency to do is to compartmentalize ourselves. We get an urge to either do something that is beneficial to us or do something that is detrimental to ourselves, either emotionally, spiritually, or physically. We do not take the time to examine where this force of thoughts or impulses are coming from. If we would be mindful to do so, we would avoid pitfalls on many fronts. I Am Woman is going to create the opportunities for you to question these thoughts and impulses and put them into their proper place. We need to ask yet another question. Do I believe I exist by some odd circumstance, or do I believe that I've been created with a design and purpose? My understanding is that we are created, not having evolved as a result of a big bang or progressing from apes. No, I believe that we've all been created with specific design and purpose. If we've been created with specific design and purpose, then we must have a creator. Now, I may lose some of you at this point, but I'm willing to do so. Why? I've been exposed to so many rules of thinking and philosophies, and after being exposed to so many trains of thought, I've concluded that most people do not really have peace about their existence. They've not fully discovered or embraced the question of, do I believe I exist by chance or happenstance, or do I believe that I have been created with specific purpose and design? I have personally addressed those questions in my life, and I believe that I have been given the answer. You see, so many of us are afraid to discuss religion or go too deeply into the personal conversations about what we truly believe or where our faith lies. But until we do this with ourselves and even others, we probably will find ourselves chasing after every train of thought or every form of teaching. Ladies, this applies to every area of our life, both emotionally, physically, and yes, of course, spiritually. When it comes to spiritual or religious conversations, many are intimidated to share what they believe. I feel in part it's because they themselves are not fully convinced in what they have been led to. As for me, I am fully convinced in what I believe and where my faith comes from and therefore lies. I have a personal relationship with Jesus, the only one whom ever claimed to be God. You see, there are many men who have tried to become gods, but there was only one God who came to be man. I came into a personal relationship with Jesus when I was 25 years old, and I believe it's only fair to tell you that this is whom I accredit my knowledge and personal experience to. I did not create these principles, He did. And I'm only sharing with you what I have been confirmed by through His Word, the Bible, application, and personal experience. I believe that we've all been created by God, and with this, He has created us with intent and desires to show us how to live in every area of our lives. If you're not of this belief, I'm okay with that. I believe that God is for all women, and He can and will show you who He is, just as He did me. I Am Woman is here to help you discover your health and beauty from the inside out. I believe that by the time you've completed this journey, I Am Woman would have accomplished all that it was created to do.